1, 2, 3, let's go.
Yay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Katie, and welcome to Greenland Quilter. And sorry for the tech issues, which is my fault. Uh, this is what happens when you've been sick for several days, and then you send a link that doesn't have a link. Sorry, sweetie. I'm so sorry. So anyway, Mary has come back to sew with me. You know, as we had mentioned a couple of weeks ago when we did our interview. So tonight, what we're going to do is she's going to work on a project, and I'm going to try to work on a project. We'll see how far I get with it with this sickness I have. I'm okay. I'm no worse, but I'm no better. You know, so I haven't walked out my door since I caught whatever this is. So, but I'm okay. No worries, everybody. I'm sorry I had to cancel on Saturday, but I was running a really high fever, and I have like this foggy thing going on in my head. So, you know, I'm sorry. And I get tired out. So that's how it is. But anyway, we're going to have some fun tonight, and we'll see how long I can hold it together. And I'm going to let Mary talk now. So here's Mary.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. It's 3 o'clock in my world, but I'm sure that we're all sharing places from all around the country. My website or my YouTube channel is Joyful and Mary, Merry Quilting, but I am Mary, Mary, and I basically have a website where I do mostly quilting courses and tutorials. I have a YouTube channel where we do a lot of those tutorials as well. And I just love to quilt, and I like sharing my quilting with other people. So this is the easiest way to do it, is to share online.
Looks like I didn't put your link in the box. You guys, I'll go find her channel link. Hold on. Anyway, keep talking. Tell them what you're going to work on tonight.
Well, actually, I've got a couple things. I've got the project that's hanging behind me, and that is our next course that we're going to have. It's called Aim for the Stars. If anybody's interested, I have a special deal for you, just for people that are listening today. We haven't opened registration yet for a little while, but it's kind of a advanced beginner, confident beginner course. But I take you to a lot of places where you may look and say, oh, I know how to do an Ohio Star, but I guarantee you there's some tips in here you don't know how to do. So that's kind of what I'm working on, is I have my instructional videos that I do along with it. This is the finished one, and I'm going to work on some blocks, kind of get things ready so that we can do our taping on that. And then I have another project that I'm working on. It's my Halloween quilt, and it's one of those quilts that I found a new ruler that I had that I want to play with. It's the Block Lock strip set ruler, and I didn't even know I had it. And when I was working on the strip sets, I saw this over in my ruler stack, and I thought, I'm going to try it. So that's the other thing I want to do. This is what I have to do. This is what I want to do. So getting the have to do stuff done is going to get me to the want to do stuff.
Well, that's awesome. And do you know what I just discovered? That I have been unsubscribed from your channel. I wonder what happened with that.
Well, sometimes you can't subscribe unless it's your personal channel. Like if I try and subscribe to you as Joyful and Mary Quilting, it won't let me. But if I subscribe to you as my personal channel, then it lets me. I don't know why. It said something about you can't subscribe to other channels with permissions or something. I'm sure there's some reason behind that, but I don't know what it is.
Oh, that's interesting, because that's the first time I've seen that happen since I've been doing all of this.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as being a subscriber to anyone's channel, I hear a lot of people talk about they've been unsubscribed from channels they're in, but this is a first for me. Anyway, yeah, so could have been.
Well, I didn't do it. I want you here.
Yeah, I know you want me here. And let's try testing that bot again.
Okay.
Let's see if I fixed it. Let's hope so. And thank you, Teresa, for picking up that link for me. I appreciate it. I want to see if the bot's going to work. Wake up, wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. Oh, man. Oh, there it is. Okay, now we know it's working. So, yep. Okay. So now I'll show you what I'm going to try to work on. I have a little kit that came from, I'm pretty sure I bought it from Qaqortoq. It was probably when she had did a sitar on one of her lives, which she does lives every Friday. that Qaqortoq does. And so way back when, long time ago actually, when she was doing Pillow Talk, this is, I don't know, can you see the book? Hang on, let me fix this camera, you guys. You can see what I'm doing. I just put it up here for this one. So anyway, this is her book. And when she was, when they were talking about the book, they were also talking about they had little pillow kits. And and this one is a Pillow Talk fabric kit, and it comes with 18 fabric shapes, and it's cotton fabric from Andover Fabrics, designed by Adita Sitar for Laundry Baskets Quilt. Each individual shape is backed with lightweight fusible webbing, perfect for any level of quilters. And then what it'll look like when it's finished is it'll be like that.
Wow. And
so it came with you have, in order to do the project, this project, you have to have the book. So that was the only I think negative thing I had to say back then when I thought about it is, if you didn't know that this project, when you were buying this kit online, if you didn't know, you would have bought the kit, and then when you got the kit, you would be like, oh my God, I can't do this because you have to have this. So yeah. So anyway, I had only bought one because I wanted to see what the what the kit looked like, whether I thought I would want to do it or not. So it got pushed on the back burner for a long time. So what I'm going to do tonight is we'll see how far along I can get on sewing this, and we'll talk about all the things you need for it. You need the kit, you need the Pillow Talk book. Now listen, you can just buy the book and make your own pillows without a kit. You can use your own fabric in your stash. So so what I've already done is this calls for half square triangle paper number, it's H300. This is the paper that's, and this is actually 3-inch finished half square paper. This was recommended. So I've already cut the sheets that I need, and I've already pinned them to the bigger blocks. And then the rest of this is going to be cutting this. It came with 6 big blocks, and then it came with all these smaller blocks that we're going to be subcutting down to work with the project. So that's what that looks like. So what I'll do first is I'm going to go ahead and sew the half square triangles, and I don't know if I can get this camera to come in closer so you can see the paper or not. Hang on a second while I adjust the camera. Uh-oh. Okay. So what I want to do is see if I can't bring this in a little bit closer. I don't know if I can or not. It may not let me. Okay. Maybe that's about as good as it's going to get. But we'll test run it and see if you can see what I'm sewing when I'm sewing the paper. So what I'm going to do, can everybody see this pretty close?
Yep, it looks good.
Okay, so you're going to be sewing on the dotted lines here. Now it has arrows telling you which direction to sew, and you can do that if you want to follow their little arrows, but it's not necessary. You know, once you get in the groove of it, you'll probably just zip through it like it's nobody's business. And then when you get all of these dotted lines sewn, all you're going to do is come back and cut with your rotary cutter on the solid lines, and you'll end up with 8 half square triangles out of this. So let me sew them together, and I'll show you what they look like after I've got the whole pieces sewn, and then we'll subcut after that. Okay, so let me go say hello in the chat, and then I'll get started on this. And Mary, if you have anything you want to tell them about, feel free to tell them a story.
Well, I do have a tips video that came out today that if you are, this is like life-changing for me when I discovered this. And that's what I usually do is people give me suggestions or I discover things and I decide that I'm going to make a video out of it. But I don't know if you've seen these. This is just, I bought this marker. It's empty. It's for acrylic paint. It's got a ball in there. You can see. I got it on Amazon. It's like 6 of them for $6 or something, $6.99, something like that. Anyway, what you do is you open it up and you fill it with your pressing solution, like Mary Ellen's or whatever you use. And what I did was I had this little bottle here that I filled up just because it's easier to dump it in. Otherwise, pouring it from a gallon jug is really rough. And then if you take the tip off, you can see that it's just like a marker. I mean, but it's empty. And you push down on your fabric, on your seam with it just to release the solution so it goes down in the tip because it dries up after a while. And then you take this and you, see, you put it on your seam, right? You just draw it right on your seam before you press. So like if you're doing this half square triangle, I would take this and I would draw like right on the seam. And then you press it. It is the flattest seam I have ever made. It almost feels like it's one piece of fabric. It doesn't even feel like there's a bump in there. And I used it. I've been using it for my blocks. And like I said, I have never had flatter blocks than I've had. So that when I use the tips that I do for the block, this is one step out of the way because I'm able to line everything up so much easier. So anyway, there's a video on my channel, Joyful and Merry Quilting YouTube channel. And if you go, it's the most recent video. And so I walk you through the whole process and where to buy the stuff if you're interested. I don't know anybody that makes these. It's just, I bought them just like everybody else. But anyway, it's just a really fun tip. And it's like life-changing. I can't believe I figured it out. So anyway, there's a lot of products.
I was wondering if art stores sold water pens like that.
Yeah, like Blix has them. Hobby Lobby didn't have them. This one I bought the whole package on Amazon, and it had several different size tips, which is kind of nice because if you're doing something that's just one seam, you use a skinnier tip, then you don't waste all the solution. You don't have all the solution all over. But then if you have the wider tip, like say you've got points or something in the middle that you want to make sure it gets on both sides, then the 1/2-inch tip works pretty well too. So it's kind of nice to have the different ones. I've just been experimenting with them, but I'm telling you, it is like it's life-changing.
What was the going price for the pens?
The pen, I think I paid $6.99 for 6 of them.
Wow.
So they're $1 something a piece, but it was on Amazon. And there's all kinds of them. There's some that you have to look at the reviews because there are some that people have complained that they're really hard to open or they could never get the top off. I bought one set that we couldn't get the top off so that we could fill it. And my husband took a pliers. I mean, he's trying everything. Turns out it turns the other direction. You know how it's always right is tight and left is loose? This was right is loose. And so when he did that with the right, it came right off. But who does that? So you have to be really careful when you buy them. Look at the reviews. But these are mainly used by people who are artists painting. They put acrylic paint in there and then they touch up their drawings. So, having a solution in here like this is something different, but I'll tell you, it works. And then if like your little nib gets, you can replace the little nib on there if you want, if it gets dull, like if it gets kind of messed up, but I've used this a ton and it still works like a charm. So I haven't had to replace it yet.
Awesome.
But I have 5 more. So
let me say hello to everyone in the channel. Hello, Robin. Hi, Essa. I hope you hang around tonight. Hi, Kelly. Hello, Robin Marie. Hello, Mary. Yeah, that's you. Hi. Hi, Therese Louise. Hello, Andrea. Hi, Robin Marie. I said that. Hi, Deb S. Hello, Candace. And Debbie. Let me see what else. Hi, Samantha. Samantha says, I can't seem to make it on anyone's live here lately. It's been too busy. Ugh. I'm so sorry, Samantha, but you're not late. So we're just getting started, so it's all good. Let's see here. Hello, Grandma Bird. I use that seam pin most of the time, and especially on paper piecing, because the extra space from the because of the extra space from the paper. And Samantha says, what kind of liquid starch does everyone use? It seems to be so expensive.
I've got a great tip on that. There is a, Mary Ellen's, if you buy it by the gallon, it's like $44 online. There's another product called Terrio Magic. I've got it sitting on the other side of my table. It's also a pressing solution. It's used for embroidery. Somebody suggested it to me. It's 50 some dollars for a gallon, but you dilute it half and half. So I have not found the Mary Ellen's to work as well diluted, but this one you dilute it half and half, 25 bucks a gallon is really worth it, I think. Anyway, sorry for
maybe the price of stock. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but there's been some price dropping of food and stuff over the last week or so. So maybe that'll filter over to things like starch and stuff.
Maybe.
You know, we all just have to be a little bit patient, a little bit longer. Because I can tell you from my point of view, I'm sick of the high prices over here.
I bet.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and sew these, and I am going to put my stitch length, according to Janome, to around a 1.60 is what I'm going to use for a stitch length to make the stitches tighter, so that when I tear the paper, it'll come right off. Lori, I'm okay. I'm no worse, but I'm not better either. So we'll see how it goes tonight. I just couldn't do it Saturday with a high fever. There was no way I could even function with that fever. We're gonna have to figure out a way to get up with all of these creators who have all these really cool tips and write a blog with all the lists of all the really cool tips, like what you just showed with the pins. You know, just to save anything that can help save quilters money, because everybody's on a budget.
There's always a new one. There's always something new out there, and they're not always good. You know, sometimes people make up tips to just make up tips, and they're not tried and true. And we have to be so careful because we end up buying all these products that don't work or are really expensive. And you know, this is a do-it-yourself for sure. There's others out there that people that are, they're selling the whole kit. And I bought those, and they don't, for me, they didn't work any better than just making it up myself. So, I mean, it's some things, like I say, are harder to do, that you need to buy the product, but other things, you can do it yourself, and you can save yourself a lot of money.
Definitely. I was talking to my daughter when I was there last. I said, next time I come, I want you to take me to one of those big art warehouses, like I'm sure they have a warehouse like they do. You know how Office Max has a big warehouse, and
well, I didn't know they did. I'd love to go there.
Staples warehouse. Well, the store is in a big warehouse, and I would think that, I remember in Gainesville, which was, something's going on here with why aren't we moving? There was a big one in Gainesville because I went with my daughter a couple times because she's a painter. And she said,
sure.
And when I asked her about it, she told me, she said she wasn't sure if that store was even around now. I said, oh, maybe we could find one similar the next time I come.
Yeah, we used to have a Blix around here, and then it closed down, and we didn't ever get it back, but it's online.
Yeah.
But I found too that, I don't need a fancy art pen because this is just for this. So I can buy the cheap one online, where, the cheap Amazon one, where if you're painting or whatever, you may want a little better quality. I don't know, because I don't do that, but.
Well, see, I bought one of those acorn pens, and it came with this bottle. It was just an acorn pen and it was 25 bucks.
I know, I bought it too.
Now, every time you put fluid in the pen and you come back the next day, it'd be gone.
Yeah. Yeah. And they sell that for $60 a gallon. It's $60, 60 some dollars a gallon for that. And then to replace that little bit, what I didn't like about the acorn is it had a big label on here. So I couldn't see when my pen was getting down low, where this doesn't have a label, so I can see.
And I feel like that these companies come up with all these great ideas, but they charge so much for them that it's ridiculous. take
Yeah,
advantage of
it's just
someone.
not affordable for everybody.
No, it's not. You
And, you know,
practically
of course,
have to be rich.
sure. And they're going to give you the reason why their product is better. And in many ways, I'm sure it is. I'm sure there are things that a product that has been tested and marketed probably is a little bit better, but I don't need that. I found that when I did this, when I used this, I had such perfect seams. This was good. It wasn't even that I was settling. I felt like it was really good. And I don't have one sitting here, but it just makes such a difference. You can see the flatness and it stays there. You don't have starch flying everywhere when you're using your Mr. bottle. You have to use that, you know, when you're spraying. But for something like this, you want it concentrated. Some people have said, oh, just use a paintbrush. But a paintbrush doesn't have that sturdy tip like this does. The paintbrush, you've got to paint along the edge and you have to dip and paint and pour it in the bottle, where this is all here. So for me, it was worth it. I'm not going to buy a paintbrush when I can just do this.
Yep. I think that makes a lot of, and for $6, you can't go wrong.
Oh, yeah. Some of them, since we put the video up this morning, we've had 14,000 views on it. And so people have been saying to me, there's no more, the pens are gone. But there are others there, you just get more in the pack. So the $6.99 one that I got, this one, I don't know if it's still available or not, but I know that it will be, you know, eventually it will be. But the other ones are good too, because it had all the different sizes, so you can use them for different seams. I don't remember exactly what those cost either, but still, you know, you're still running about the same price per pen. And one lady said she fills hers up and she leaves like 6 of them full, because they do go down. And then that way she doesn't have to keep refilling. She could go through all 6 before she has to do it again.
That makes sense. Okay. Robin says she makes her own starch, found recipes on YouTube. She made a gallon for a couple of bucks. Teresa says she uses Stay Flow, which is much, much cheaper, and it works just fine. I've heard a lot of people talk about using Stay Flow, and I've heard people also say they water down their Stay Flow just so they can make it even stretch even further for the good price they get for it. I've heard that too.
One thing that I did hear about a regular starch product, and I don't know if it's true, but people have said that if you get something that actually is made with, you know, as starch, that it can flake, it can spoil, and it needs to be kept in the refrigerator. If you've homemade it, it can cause bugs. So, you know, that's something to consider if you're doing it. If you wash your quilt, then after you've quilted it, you should be fine. But if you're leaving it for a while, you might want to be careful that you don't let it spoil when you've made. People make it with vodka, they make it with all sorts of things. You know, just
I guess if you were going to do something you didn't want to worry about bugs wanting to get into, I don't either.
And I really think $25 for a gallon is reasonable. If I'm going to invest some money in it, and if I, you know, buy the $57 gallon of the Terriel Magic, diluted half and half, it works great and it lasts forever. You know, it does. I've got the same gallon I've had for months, and it's still really heavy.
Does it really take $25 to make it? I mean,
yeah,
starch is starch.
I don't know, but you know what? We didn't think of it, doggone it. If we would have thought of it, we could have been charging the $25.
There's one of those things we wish we had come up with, right?
No kidding. All the stuff that we wish we would have done, we didn't do. You know, we didn't think of it. We had it here, makes total sense, but somebody beat me to it.
Yep, I hear you. Okay. Nikolai says, I'll go home near the, he's answering someone's question. Yep, it'll be the end of the month when he comes home. I don't care as long as he comes home.
Yeah.
Amazon things can be more expensive than in Canada. Is that what you mean?
I think so. I wonder if that's true. Yeah.
Is that Canada or California?
Could be either one. I don't know.
I can only order specific things off of Amazon that will ship here. Everything else will not ship here. Because I don't know. I don't know why, but so, you know, if I want to buy from Amazon, I end up having to find a secondary shipping company where I have to have it sent to so that they can turn around and send it to me.
Oh man. So what if people want to just send to you, like your family or something? Is it a long
Getting
run?
my getting my family to get off their butts, or no, let me rephrase that a little. Getting anybody in my family to take 5 minutes out of their busy day to put something in the mailbox is like
Too much,
asking
huh?
Queen of Sheba to give you $1 million. It ain't gonna happen.
Well, where I am, it usually Amazon will come in 2 days. We're in a rural area. Where my daughter is in a more urban area, it'll come even the same day sometimes. They'll order it and it'll be there the same day they deliver it. And then when we are in northern Wisconsin, which is very rural, it could take us 4, 5, 6 days before it comes. I don't think they come there as often. So it really does depend on where you're located.
And I mean, I probably could have gotten away with putting a gallon of I don't know, best press or whatever in my suitcase. But there was other things taking priority over that weight wise.
Oh,
And then,
that's heavy.
And then, well, yeah, 1 gallon equals 30 pounds. No, wait. For every 1 gallon of water, it weighs 10 pounds or something. Either way, but there was a risk of the lid leaking, laying on its side, and all the, they're not careful when they're picking people's luggage up and putting them on a plane, so there was this risk of having one big hot mess, and I'm like, nope, it ain't worth it.
Well, and I've gotten it in the mail before.
I've come home with small bottles of stuff.
Oh yeah,
because I can wrap them pretty good, and they get here in the way I pack them. Let me see here. Robin said it will only spoil when it's wet. Once ironed, not spoiled.
Well, that's
and
good.
CA equals Canada from Debbie. Kelly says, I'm getting tired of rain, Debbie. Are you? I know we need it, but the garden still needs organizing. Yeah, it's been raining here all the time. Grandma Bird says, what machine are you using? It seems very quiet. I can't even hear it stitching. It's a Janome 6700P, but transparency here. I have the Zoom. I use Zoom, and you can have settings where, like, it can. I don't have it on the most advanced setting because the most advanced setting can take out all sounds except those of us talking to each other. But something we've noticed, and people have been giving me feedback on and off. They say when I turn my back to the camera, they can't hear me. That means I'm going to have to invest in a mic, and I've just been putting it off because it's one more added cost when I'm not making any money right now. So, yeah. And the biggest thing I want to concentrate on is trying to figure out my light problem. I'm using a ring light, plus I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4 other lights, plus a light behind me, plus the Christmas lights you see along the top of the ceiling of the room, and that's still not enough. But all this lights makes my eyes hurt on top of it. So
it does, and it goes right into your eyes, and it's so hard to see. When I'm trying to do demos and things, I have difficulty sometimes being able to actually see detail because the light is so bright.
Yeah, I need to find the right lighting that doesn't cause injury, because I noticed that I think that ring light is the culprit for causing a couple of my oral migraines.
Oh yeah, that can.
They don't hurt. They just, I'm in the middle of an interview. I don't remember if it was you. I don't remember if it was you or someone else, but I didn't say anything. But 2 minutes into starting our interview, I was having a migraine.
Oh boy.
And I think the light triggered it.
Yep.
And I can't stop the interview because that's just rude. And but it's very disorienting because you have this swirl of color, like when you're looking in a kaleidoscope. Yeah. It's turning in your eyeballs, and that's what you're seeing. You can see nothing else.
Oh boy.
It's right there. So getting up and walking around is not a thing. You have to stop, and it takes 30 to 45 minutes for it to pass. So these sometimes last almost nearly the entire 45 minutes it's going on. It doesn't hurt. I feel like there's a little pressure here on the front of my head, but outside of that, there's no pain, which is I'm thankful for because I used to have migraines where I had to go get an injection in the IV so that they could kill the pain.
Oh, geez.
And then it would put me down for a couple days because, migraines do that anyway, and then add some kind of narc to it, and it puts you on the ground.
Yeah, yeah, you're not able to function for a bit. This
Nope.
is the seam that I don't know if you can see how flat.
Here, let me spotlight you.
It's this is the,
Oh, it is pretty flat. Wow.
you can just see that there is no bubble in this at all. If I hold it this way.
Use that on your own long strips.
Yeah, I just did it just now, just for this one, but it's nice. And when I'm nesting, the other thing, this doesn't flip up. You know how sometimes it'll flip one way or the other. It doesn't. I just do it once over on the back as well. I don't put any pressing solution on it, but just to kind of make it lay flat there too and make sure everything is dry.
Okay, I'm going to hopefully I won't knock anybody off here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, let's see if I can't, I don't know if this is going to, last time I tried to do this, we ended up losing my camera, but we'll try it again. We'll see if I can spotlight this one or not. Okay, so
That's
here's what I'm going to do now, you guys. I have the, they're all sewn. And see, this is what it looks like on the back, although it looks like I got in a fight with this one. Yeah, they're sewn on the back. So let me go ahead and what I normally do before I do any cutting is I come along the sides and go ahead and trim up the seam line before I do the actual cutting of the blocks. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that first. What are y'all working on today? Okay, let me see here. Katie, it's 98. Oh my God, that is hot, Robin. Wow, I guess summer's come roaring in Florida. Debbie says very black and stormy clouds over YVR, which I don't know what that stands for. Debbie, good to know. She says it's Kelly says it's cloudy her way. It's cloudy and overcast here, and it's been raining for the last 2 days. It hasn't stopped. So it's like, okay, so much for thinking I was going to get out and dig in the dirt, but I wouldn't have been able to since I'm sick anyway. So, but I'm still going to try to get out there at some point in the next few days. I want to plant some mustard greens. I would like to have some for the summer.
So what's your planting season there?
It usually starts in June and ends like the end of September, maybe.
Oh, that's not bad.
But it's been staying warmer longer. So some cooler season vegetables might be able to get away with getting more out of them by leaving them in the ground longer. I know my mother, she always planted her mustard greens, turnip greens, and collard greens in the fall because she liked for frost to get on them. And frost doesn't kill them. So
wow.
Snow does, I think. But there's something about that first frost on mustard greens and any green. It does something to the taste of them. It makes them taste even better. And so she's always up for, she usually had a spring crop and a late fall part of the winter crop. She usually grew collard greens, turnip greens, mustard greens, potatoes. But potatoes are not a winter crop, but they are a cool season crop because we can grow potatoes here all summer.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
we have enough sunlight to have tomatoes, but tomatoes don't like being cold.
Yeah.
So for this one block, you guys, I get 8 half square triangles out of it. And I sewed up 3 of them. So that's going to take care of all the half square triangles I needed to make.
Who makes your papers?
Huh?
Who makes those papers?
These are by Qaqortoq.
Oh, those are Qaqortoq. Okay.
Yeah, she bought the company out that
Oh,
that owned it.
I actually did
She
this.
made them an offer I guess they couldn't refuse.
Oh, wow. I bet. Well, this
And
is the
now
pillow that she did. She demoed this for her quilt along, one of them, and it's those papers too. And
Yep.
very
Now
nice.
now they're designing all kinds of papers. Okay. Robin says she finished 130 hexagons so far today. Ooh, congratulations. Gina says, I watched your big block making this morning, Kelly. I'm glad to be in this community too. Currently, I am plugging away on projects. Not much to show yet. This is from Kelly. Grandma Bird says, well, you both are making it great for us. I appreciate all you do for the community of cultures. Oh, you're welcome. No problem. Grandma Bird says, well, sad to say, no stitching here today. Stripped the bedding and doing laundry all day, but happy to have stitched all day yesterday. Debbie says, I live 1 hour west of Kelly, so her weather normally comes from the west. Samantha says, I can't wait to get in clean sheets tonight, so she did laundry today too. Debbie, the next round is coming, completely gray and yucky in Abbotsford, talking about weather. And Gina Grove says, poop. I hear neighbors asking Dave if I can come out and rock on the porch. We have some great rocking chairs on our porch. We get lots of visits from neighbors now that we have pretty weather. I'm all caught up. Your channel seems to be doing really good, Debbie. Mary.
Yeah, we really are having a great time with it. It's been, we started back in April of 2023, and we had, 6 followers, and they were all family. And then we finally got things starting to roll in August. That's when everything started to kick in, which was great. And yeah, now it's doing good.
I've seen a couple channels, man, grow fast. I'm like, I wish mine was.
You just never know. It's like you just never know. It's one video, you think this is great. This is going to be, this has so much information in it, and everybody's going to want to know this, and nobody wants to know it. And then you have something else that just seems like a silly little thing that you figure out, and it travels far.
Yep. All right. I have a feeling I need to order me some. Who wants to volunteer and send me a bunch of rotary blades? I'm just kidding. I just realized I'm getting low, and now I'm going to be screwed if I don't think about ordering some soon.
I did test out a rotary blade sharpener a while back, and some people had requested, that I try test something out. And one person wanted to know about one of those self-sharpening rulers that has the like sandpaper on the side, and everything that I read, I didn't even try it. Everything I read said they were terrible and that the sandpaper comes off and it doesn't do the sharpening. So I did try, there was a hand twisting one. It's a blue one, and you just twist it, and it is rough on your hand. You have to twist it a lot, but it actually did get me by. When I used the ruler then, or I mean, when I used the cutter then after that, it wasn't too bad. It did last, my blade lasted a little longer. If you've got a nick in it or something, then it's not going to do it. But if it just is getting a little bit dull, that is a way to get you by until you get some more.
Yeah. I was looking through my blades the other day and I'm like, we're getting low. It's getting scary.
Yeah, you don't want to lose, you don't want to run out of that. That's
Well, I just would rather buy them from Amazon, but Amazon won't ship them. I have to find someone to send them to me because I don't want to pay the high price that quilt shops charge for them.
yeah. I've used the titanium blades, the fabric cut blades. You can
Yep.
tell that they look like they've got like a glow to them. And we had a link to those. I think it's still on our video for half off. I don't remember exactly what the price were, but it really, they last forever and I love them.
That's cool.
And I think they ship directly. I don't think it's not through Amazon, it's their own shipping.
Oh, okay. I'll look into that.
Yeah. Check for a link on that. I'm sure I've got it here somewhere.
Have these all cut up and then I'll get the dog ears off of them and then we'll get them pressed and ready to go. I can tell you I feel very tired.
Yeah, you're gonna need to take a nap, get to bed early.
This is, it just saps all my energy.
Yeah. When you don't feel good, it just zaps you. I mean, it's like you feel like you can do something, but it's not always easy.
Well, okay, let's get this thing out of the way. I'm going to have to start putting aside a little bit of funds. I think I'm going to have to order a new cutting mat too, because I think I had this mat that I've been using. This one, and there's a big one over on the table, and I've been using them for like 6 years now, and they're starting to look a little bit taxed.
Yeah, they do that. I just ordered a new one. I was using one on my big table that was not a self-healing. And when I bought it, I didn't realize it. And the lady that I bought it from, she's like, oh, you just scrape it off with this little scraping tool and all. But it wears your blades out. Your blades just go so much more quickly when it's not self-healing. So I ordered a new one. It's not here yet, but I'm hoping it gets here soon.
Okay. Nikolai's been keeping up with the newest thing over here. You know, I'm sure y'all heard about the orcas having physical issues with human beings lately. Apparently, they've been crashing into. They've been smashing boats, and they finally worked out why they're doing it.
Oh no!
Hey, what is nature supposed to do when human beings take up 70% of the planet?
Yeah, they want to tell you to go away.
Well, they have every right to raise a family and you know, live their life, and human beings are getting in the way of that.
Yeah.
And we need to learn how to respect Mother Nature. That's the whole problem here. A lot of people don't respect Mother Nature.
Yeah.
And we all live in symbiotic relation with all of it. And when we do things to destroy something, it's not good. I always worry about the kids swimming down in the harbor because all those big ships come in and out of there.
Oh golly!
Leaves a residue on the water, and then I see kids swimming in the harbor, and I'm like, Gosh, you guys. If you were my kid, you would not be swimming in the harbor.
That is really frightening. My gosh.
It's because they don't realize it. I don't think
No,
they think
kids don't.
well, but when I was down there, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, I saw you could see a fuel film on top of the water in a couple spots, and then 3 or 4 days later, you see on Facebook where the kids were swimming in that same water.
Oh,
And I'm like, you all need to go swim at the lake. Don't worry about swimming at the harbor. But I think the reason they were down there at the harbor is because there was no ice in the harbor,
oh
but there
no.
was still ice on the lake.
Oh my gosh. That's got to be a little nippy.
Well, I would have thought that fjord water would be too cold to be swimming in when the everything hasn't thawed out yet. But now the lake is completely free. But I haven't noticed if the kids have been down there swimming in it yet.
Oh
But
my goodness.
probably within the next couple of weeks, I bet they will be. Because they don't waste time when summer gets here. They're all out doing stuff. That's the thing about Inuits. They don't spend any time when the land is free of ice. They are gone.
Oh.
Some of them's already started their hunting and fishing for the summer. Woo, this is a lot of half square triangles. All right, let's get these ears clipped off so then I can go ahead and after that I can tear the paper off of it. My accomplishment, Kelly says, my accomplishment today is a bit more hand quilting. Nice. Kelly says, I'm tempted to have another coffee. Grandma Bird says, I have that blue hand twist sharpener. It does work, but you have to work at it to do its job. She's talking about the sharpener for the blade.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not kidding. It was a lot of work to do it. Yeah, I mean, if you're in a in a pinch and you need to use it, it works. It really does. But man, to turn it, because you have to keep turning it and turning it. You put water on it to make sure that it goes and turn and turn and turn and turn and turn and turn. And then you flip it over to the other side and do the same thing on the other side. But like I say, if you need one and your blade, your blades, you don't have one, it's a good thing. But to do that for every single blade, I'm not sure I would.
I need Nikolai here so he can tear all these papers. When I've done a bunch of them at once, I'll go in there and I'm like, do you feel like tearing paper? Yeah, bring it. And so while he's in there gaming, he's tearing all the paper off for me.
Yeah. One of the things that I like to use when I'm tearing off, when I'm doing papers, remember these old time things
Yeah,
that,
I know what
yeah.
those are. They're the ones you take and use marking paper to put darts on a pattern when you're making clothes.
Exactly. Well, what you do is you just take this and run it along your ruler on all those lines, and it makes perforation on there. Paper comes off a little bit easier. There's a better one by Olfa that is like this, and it actually pierces the paper. That one just kind of dents it, but this one actually pierces it. And it works really well. The paper just comes right off then because it's already been
Form
cut.
the fabric.
You do it first before you take your paper, before you do anything, you put your ruler on all the lines, and then you go ahead and do that like what you're doing. And so then you've already got that mark. Some people will fold the paper, and that's okay, but it doesn't help with this. But using this one's the best one. It just perforates it and all over. And like I say, the paper just comes off without any trouble. I use it for foundation piecing all the time, but this works too.
Okay, I'll have to look for me one. I have a sewing kit somewhere in my
You
storage
got one
unit.
of these. Everybody does.
Yeah, because I was using them when I was making clothes.
That's
I just
right.
need to find the kit inside the storage unit.
We all had them. We just never knew we could use them for quilting.
Hi, Patty. Welcome, welcome. When you use a half square templates paper, do you still have to square up the block? No. I might check a couple of them to make sure that they're right. But if you sewed them on the lines like you're supposed to, you shouldn't have to do that. And this is 3-inch finish, so I'm not even going, I'll check a couple of them. And if it looks like they're fine, then I won't mess with them at all. The only time you would, I guess, trim is if you decided to make the half square, use a bigger paper so that you have that little leeway. And then you would be trimming down, but I don't like wasting time trimming. You know, some people say, well, it's extra step to tear paper off. True. But here's two caveats about this. One, I do not have to draw 2 lines on all these blocks, which is what I don't like doing. And second, trimming down is the other part I don't like doing. Oh, I'm okay, Patty. I'm still sick. This stuff in the back of my throat's driving me crazy. And it's affecting the rest of me. I'm probably going to go see the doctor Friday if this throat thing is not gone. Because then I'm thinking it might be strep throat, maybe. I went through 3 days where it was all I could do not to panic and have when you get your throat all swollen up back there, I have a sensitive gag reflex anyway. And when junk gets back there, I'm not trying to be gross or nothing, but you know, you're very uncomfortable. Put it that way. Okay, now we got all the dog ears. Now I can rip all the paper off and then we can press it. Let me get all these little dog ears gathered up so I don't end up on the floor with them. Straight to the garbage can. Okay. Now, one of the things I like to do, you know how Mary said she had a little trick? Here's another trick about tearing paper off. I have taken the, here, let me spotlight myself. Yep, here we go. Okay. You have the back, you have the front. And what I already did to start with is I have already pressed the bigger part of the paper up. And then what I like to do is I come back and I put my fingernail in between that paper and that fabric and I press this the other direction. Okay, so now both sides have been done. But then I go and turn it back upside down again where this is facing the front side of this triangle paper is facing me. And I take it and I'll rip it down the middle and then to the side. And it comes right off.
Good idea.
Okay? And then reach your finger in between there in the middle and you'll, unless there's something catching it on the end, which it shouldn't be, but sometimes it happens. And you just gently make sure you pull this part off. You should never rip paper from corner to corner. And you're going to say, well, why not? Because you can rip this seam out right here by just ripping from the corner. So that's why I always start in the middle. That way I don't tear my seam on both ends of the block. So that's another hint for paper. My husband says, I think you need good vibe hubby next to you. You're right, honey. You need to come home. I want you to come home. And I know, Wimby, you're right. I just need my sweetheart home. But anyway, I'm just going to go through here and tear all the paper off. How's your project going? Patty says, oh, I'm sorry. I hope you get to the doctor soon and feel better. Thanks, Mary. See, my brain is not working. Thank you, Patty. So this little project's for a pillow, so that's what I'm gonna, it'll, once I get the block done, then I will research how to do the rest of it. Because I do have some pillow stuffing in the cold rooms that I can get out to stuff it with. I was thinking I had some early blocks when I first started sewing that I showed you guys a while ago. And I'll bring them out again probably when I get to talking about it more. But I'm thinking about taking those 6 blocks and making pillows with them too. Because I realized out of all the stuff that I've been doing, I haven't bothered to make pillows for our house. This tells you how much of an interior designer I am. I'm not. But I used to crochet when I was crocheting, I used to make pillows with crocheting. And I think I used to make pillows maybe when I was making my own clothes. I might have made a few pillows that I turn around and gift it to different people. Just because I felt like being sweet. Grandma Bird says, and you don't stretch the bias when tearing down the middle and not end to end. That's right. Nikolai says, I'll be home near the end of the month, Essa. I know you will, honey. By the way, the word Essa, A-S-A, is honey in Greenlander.
Oh.
I don't think we ever call each other by our name. Okay, saying hi to Nico. I'm hoping he'll get to bring home some Legos since he's in Denmark when he gets ready to come home. Uh-oh. See now, okay, so here's the thing. I want to show you guys something. Let me see if I can get this up here close enough. Can you see that? Right there? See how that didn't tear off? Sometimes this happens, and it's when I go and I mess with it a little bit, you see how it didn't tear on the other side either. So what you have to do, you don't want to be being a caveman here and just pulling at it. You want to take a pair of tweezers and you want to gently work it out and take it off one side first, because you still don't want to be tearing, you know, from the end. You want to keep trying to remove it from the other end so you're not stretching that bias. But every now and then this happens, which means I didn't fold the paper all the way down like I should have. That's my fault. Okay, so that will happen. Patty says, my hubby and I call each other honey and baby. Yeah, we do that a lot. That's a thought, Lori. I hadn't thought of that.
So does Fat Quarter Shop mail to you, Katie?
Yep.
Oh, that's good.
So I can buy from Fat Quarter Shop, Missouri Star, nice. Cotton Cuts, Shabby Fabrics.
Oh.
Quilting is Christmas. I think that's the name of the company. Sometimes I order Christmas boutiques from them, or Christmas fabric that something will catch my eye and I'll go over there and order it. They've been really good about and not charging me high price to mail it to me. Let me see, who else have I bought from that I don't buy from that often? I think there's one other place, but I can't remember. but mostly it's Back Quarter Shop and Missouri Star. I save up money for the fall because in November, Missouri Star starts putting on a lot of fabric sales, and a lot of it's batiks too.
Oh,
Like you can buy, they'll put out a thing where it's 2 yard bundle, which is 2 yards of yardage of one piece, one color, and it'll be $12.
Oh, that's
You can
wonderful.
buy batiks at six. Well, other than a place in Florida, there's nowhere you can pay $6 a yard for batiks. And it's not the ugly stuff that they're selling. It's the beautiful, bright, vibrant stuff they sell.
Nice.
And so I spend quite a bit on batiks in November. That's my thing. But during the year, I might buy a kit here and there, or not a kit. When I say kit, what I mean is, okay, so like you have, like with cotton cuts, you know, they have 2 sew-alongs a year, which both of them last 10 months. So one starts in the spring and one starts in the fall. So they're always overlapped. So I've started buying kits instead of trying to do it by the month, because it'll save on my stuff getting lost, for one thing, or someone stealing it in Chicago. They have a problem in Chicago. I don't know what the deal is, but things disappear there. But it's gotten better, and I think that once they get the rest of this product shipping lines, or whatever you call it, things get shipped through, gets better, maybe it won't be so prevalent. Because before the pandemic, hardly anything was getting lost. I mean, every now and then something would get lost, but when the pandemic happened, a big gaping hole opened up and swallowed all my stuff.
Oh.
But the beauty of Back Quarter Shop and Missouri Star and Cotton Cuts is they always take care of their customers. Even though the mailing system is not their fault, they always take care of the customer first.
That's
even
great.
Even if it costs them money, which it has, they still take care of their customers. They
That's
don't
good
leave.
business.
Yeah, they don't say, "Oh well, when it left our door, it's not our problem anymore." They don't do that. They replace it or refund your money, whichever, depending on your situation.
That's good.
And I'm so thankful for them, because this is the only way I get to have this little hobby with all of y'all. I mean, I'm hoping when runways are finished and internet or intercontinental flights start happening on a regular basis, maybe the mail will get better with it. I'm hoping, especially with mail coming from the United States to here. Or it could make things worse. We'll have to wait and see. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm pressing this open. I mean, finger pressing, using my little handy dandy roller. And then when I get them all done, I'm gonna go over and press them, and then decide whether I want to press the seams open or leave them alone. I'm still not, what do you call it? Confident. That's it. I'm still not confident on trying to do these without sewing with this, I'm not confident in nesting seams. So all these years, last 4 or 5 years, I've been sewing with the seams open. But at some point, I got to take a chance and try to do it again. Because I understand the procedure to nesting. It's just I struggle getting them to line up, even though there's nothing wrong with. See, these are perfect half squares. There's nothing imperfect about them. And I'll check the measurement for the person who was asking about this too. Katie, are you going to the next Are you going to do the next PMQ? And if so, which fabric collection? Yeah, I'm going to do another one, but I'm only going to do one this go around. And let me go look and I'll give you. And Robin, no, it's still a no. I might as well put on my video, big fat no, exclamation mark. No, I'm just kidding. No, nothing, not a darn thing. She asked about my contractor. Yeah, the contractor hasn't shown his face since before Nikolai left. Unfortunately. All right, let me go pull up cotton cuts. And Puzzle Mystery. The one that I'm thinking about doing, maybe, is the one called, where are you? Oh, there you are. The one called Delilah. That's the one I'm thinking about doing. And the fabric line is, sorry, it's Nora's Garden by Shauna Doris for Andover Fabrics. Patty says, I bought a llama panel from MSQC that had a bad spot on it. I called them and they sent out a new one and didn't want the spotted one back. Yeah, they're really good about that. That's what I like about them. You call and say, oh, I found this flaw on my, there was this on, or it was cut wrong, or they do. They're really good about this. That's what I like about them.
I had bought a jelly roll one time and it was a good quality. It was a Moda jelly roll and it had, every one of them was a V cut. It was like, you knew that wasn't lined up right. And so when I couldn't use it. I mean, I couldn't use it for the long strips because of that. And I called them and they sent me another one, didn't want the original one back. So I was able to use the end pieces. I just couldn't use that middle piece in there and they were really good about it.
I have never had anything, out of all the stuff that's gone on over the years, I really don't have anything I can say bad about any of them, because they have stepped up to the plate when they needed to. Okay, let me see. What could I ask for a question? All right, you guys. What would be one thing that you haven't done that you want to do that has to do with making a quilt? Or is there something that you would like to experience, or I don't know?
I still want to make a 1-inch square charm quilt. Not a charm quilt. I just want to make a 1-inch square big quilt. I started one, but my stuff wasn't lining up right and I got discouraged.
Those little squares.
I think they're so pretty.
You can cut them straight and do everything you're supposed to, and then
I know
something happens in the process, and it's like, really?
It just gets worse and worse. And, you know, after a while, I was like, okay, this is not working. And I didn't want to throw it all away, but my squares just didn't look good. And everything was getting a little bit crooked. And there's got to be a better way. And I need to figure that out. But I'd still like to do it.
I like making those little blocks too, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Same thing. Yours are really cute. The ones you got hanging up there. Are you showing those off?
The ones that
the ones behind you there? They're so cute. From a distance, they look so pretty.
Yeah, they're the Raspberry Kiss block.
Yeah.
And I sewed, oh yeah, I guess some of you haven't seen I sewed another row on. Hang on a second. I added another row, so we're coming along with it.
That
But
is so cute. Oh,
they're 4.5 inch blocks. They're so adorable.
that is so pretty. Now, what are you using for fabric on that? Are those batiks?
No, they're not batik. So the background is by it's yardage. It's called whole Flower House Basics, but called not Nightfall Thoughts by Debbie Bees.
Huh.
So I bought a bolt from this
Nice.
store. They had a bolt sale, and I bought the one of them because I was running out of white on white, or I don't really like the white where
Mhm.
that's in your face.
Yeah.
But this is like toned down when it has this.
Let's see the back. Oh, that is so cute. That is so cute. Well done.
It's always funny when you see you did a mistake right here. It's not a mistake. It's just the way I pressed the fabric in.
Yeah, but it looks perfect on the front.
Yeah, but and it's not a mistake.
No, it
Really,
doesn't
it
matter.
isn't.
It doesn't
Because
matter.
you see, I did two of them like that, but when you look on the front, you don't even realize
Yeah.
what's going on the back.
Well, that is so cool. That is very inspirational. That I really, really like it.
And the fabric came from, hold on a minute. It was a 34 fat quarter. Yeah, I think it was a 34 fat quarter bundle. And I removed all the grays and blacks out of it.
Okay.
Because I wanted to, because here's what the whole thing looks like without them. You get all this color.
Oh, it's so pretty. That's just my style. Oh, I love it.
And it has these little swirly things on the front of him.
Oh, yeah. That's very
And
nice.
so it's by, and I had this fat quarter bundle. I probably had it at least 2, maybe 3 years. I bought it. It had to be one of the last things I bought from So yeah, when it came to shipping here. Okay, I need to find a different one because the label's missing off of that one. Let me find one that says something. It's QT Fabrics, but I can't remember the line. Hang on a minute. QuiltingTreasures.com, and it's called Quilting Treasures 2015. Yeah, that's what it's called. And QT Fabrics makes it.
So cute.
And look at it's just it reminds you of the
Oh, yeah.
As you see, it's got purple in it too. I don't know if you can see it.
Very nice.
So
a lot of times you can still buy those the blenders just because everybody uses them all the time. And Quilting Treasures
is called a blender. Oh, I didn't know that's what this is called.
Yeah. A lot of the blenders, Patrick Lose has a lot of blenders too that are really cool, similar to that. But I really like Quilting Treasures. Plus, they're reasonable. They are very reasonable pricing wise.
I think I paid $30 maybe for it.
Yeah, they're great.
Something like
good
that.
Fabric. Yeah.
Yeah. What was I going to say? One thing about this when you're doing the Raspberry Kiss, I only had to cut off 1.5 strip off each of these fat quarters. One.
Ooh.
One makes 2 blocks.
Oh wow.
It'll make 2 of the colored blocks. So I make 2 of each color.
Oh.
And you're just missing 1.5 inches off each of these fat quarters. So here we have this stack of fabric that I could turn around and use it for something else.
Sure.
So it'll make more than one quilt top.
How big are you going to make the finished top?
This top looks, well, you see how wide it is.
Uh-huh.
It's going to have a repeat of the color. So it's just going to be like a small wall hanging. Because I just wanted to show everybody how pretty it is when you get it together. And then
Beautiful.
anyone could choose how big they want to make it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw it at QuiltCon, and it was probably the size of a twin or a
Oh.
throw. Yeah, but I couldn't tell you how many rows was on it, because when I took the picture of it, I didn't think to take a picture where it showed how many rows going across the top, on down. It didn't occur to me to do that.
Well, I love it. I think it's so
But
pretty.
I think it's adorable.
Yes, it
You
is.
can also turn these into pillows. See that?
Oh, yeah, you sure could. Oh, very versatile. That's the best thing.
Yep.
Well, bravo. Doing a great job.
Thank you. I thought what I would do with these, since I have this already out, you probably didn't see this, but they have. I showed them when I did the Florida shop hop.
Uh-huh.
Each shop that we visited gave us a block that had their company name on,
Mm-hmm.
and they would have these quirky little sayings and stuff. And when you trim them, which I've already trimmed all of them but two, you can trim them. When you trim them down, they're 4.5 inches. So there's small blocks, except for one big block I have. And I was thinking that I could take these same blocks and make a sashing to go around each one and make it colorful. But this is what the little block looks like. One of them. They're all different. None of them are the same.
Cute.
So if I put color around them, like one side, I could either do one whole same color all the way around, or I could do like a dark on this side and a light on this side,
Mm-hmm.
and rotate it throughout I could do it like that also.
Yeah, you really could.
And then I bought a Florida panel, and I think I'm gonna put the panel on the back, or this will go on the back and the panel will be on the front.
Oh, that'll be perfect.
I haven't figured it out yet, but I think that's where I'm gonna go with it.
Little bit of home.
Yep. A bit of Florida. Because let me tell you what, when we got to Clearwater and we found that little park that's right from the beach, it was surrounded, and I know you don't know what I'm talking about, but it was surrounded by adult or mature adult Bismarck palms. They're humongous.
Huh.
The first time I saw Bismarcky, I'm like, oh my God. No, I see two different palms in Lou Gardens, and the Bismarck was one of them. The frond had to been at least 12 feet across. They get enormous. And then there was this other palm in the garden that had the palmately compound that goes all the way down the frond. Phoenixes are one of them that does that. Date palm. That way you know what I'm talking about. It has that style of leaf.
Yeah.
And this one that they had inside the park, the frond, the length of it was at least 20 feet long. And when you stood next to the palm, you felt like a midget, because it was like this. You felt like this itty bitty person to this enormous. And I don't know. When I saw it, I was a young woman. I was in my early 30s when I saw it, and I'm like, I wonder how long it took.
Sure.
Get that big, and then to have fronds that go way out in the middle of the park is crazy.
Unbelievable.
But this park that I'm talking about that is in Clearwater, it's right next to the beaches, and they had this beautiful green grass. It looks like golf course grass, and there's no sign saying "Do not sit on the grass," because people are sitting everywhere on the grass. And I took first thing I did was take my shoes off and go walking across the grass, and my husband was laughing because he knew I would do that. Yeah. And then I just popped my butt down on the ground, and I was perfectly happy doing that. And I could have stayed there all day just doing that, because I was just like, oh, these trees are so beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I miss that. I didn't realize that how much people don't realize this, but when you grow up in Florida, there's a lot of things about Florida, depending on who you are, I guess. And because I have been growing plants since I was 11, I have this love affair with plants anyway. And so but palms have always been my jam. I just think that when God created this planet, he created such beautiful things, but there's nothing like a palm tree. And you don't, all of it's made of leaf material. That's the whole thing is made with leaf material and water pipes. They run up and down that trunk. And when you damage the main bud at the top, that's the only way you can really actually kill a palm tree. It's just chop the top off of it and it's gone. No more palm tree. Wow. And you think, gosh, that's such a delicate thing, but it survives hurricanes and other things, even though it's sticking out there, in the wind like it is. It's
amazing, isn't it?
Something amazing and special about it.
Yeah.
And when you're a science person and you learn how all this stuff works, like here's an example. Oak trees have two cambiums. And the reason an oak tree can live after a lightning strike, for the most part, unless it what they call bands it. So you can see an oak tree where it's dead in the middle, living on the top and living on the bottom. Yeah. It's because it has an outer cambium, which is where the bark is at. And then the central core of the tree is also a cambium. So say this part of the center got burned out by lightning, it could still send food and water up and down that tree by the outer cambium. Wow. Oh, that's good. Interesting to know. Yep. Now, pine trees, or all cone-bearing trees, do not have a second cambium. So when they get hit by lightning, that's the end of them. They don't have that secondary backup tool. Yeah, we had one get hit in our backyard, and it was gone. And palm trees don't have cambiums at all. They're all leaf material. I didn't know that. Yep. You didn't know you were going to a botanical class, did you? I like that though. Okay, let me see here. We got some comments. Katie, are you going? Yeah, I answered that question. Any news about the contractor? No, I already answered that one too. What? Why are you doing half squares with paper front? Because there's a zillion of these things. If I'm going to do this many half square triangles, let's use paper. I can get it done in short order. Drawing lines and sewing takes 10 times longer for me, and I don't have the patience for it. So that's why I use half square triangle paper. Always have. And it keeps me a little bit more accurate also. There's that. But I'm not looking for perfection here, you guys. That's not the name of the game. I just want to have fun while I'm doing it. Hi, around to it. How are you? See you when you get back, Patty. Katie, your very colorful X piece gives me an idea. My daughter is a math teacher, and I could make a blocked panel wall hanging with all the math symbols on it for her classroom. Love the color. Yeah, you could. That's a great idea, Grammar Bird. 1-inch squares, the last homely house did EPP curtains in her quarter room. Awesome. Wow. What, did I wake you up? No, you're not going to give me attention right now, Missy. She woke up. Patty says that's pretty. Okay, so we're caught up. How's your blocks going? Mary?
Pardon me? Sorry, it's too noisy here.
Yeah, how's yours
doing strips right now, so I've got one more set of strips to do, and then I'll cut.
Okay, I was just curious where you were.
That's where I am. I actually have my other stuff done. My it's the quilt behind me. It's just a variation of it with different blocks. So anyway, those are done. Ready to put together.
Well, at the end of the live, I'll spotlight you and you can show them up closer.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get my block done before we
Actually, I don't really have the blocks. It's just the squares, and they are cut very straight.
No, Nora. I'm busy. Come back under the table and go to sleep. See, if I have the set, remember I was talking about sound setting? If I turn the setting all the way up, they wouldn't even be able to hear her whining.
Hmm.
She's sitting looking at me with those big brown eyes, and the tail is wagging nonstop like, Mommy. And now she's up on her hind legs, taking her nose, pushing my arm aside like, come on, Mom, I want something.
Our dachshund had those little tiny front legs, and she'd always do this all the time.
Yep. She's hilarious.
She'd sit back. It was like she was sitting straight up.
Yep. She is the happiest dog I have ever seen.
Oh, that's so nice.
Are you going to show out on everybody? Are you going to give everybody some of your voice? Yeah? Are you going to talk to everybody and say hello? Yeah? Right. That's still not going to get me out of my chair, little one. All right. I need to press. Now. He's hilarious. Go. I know what she wants.
She knows, you know.
That's why she takes her nose and moves my arm around. She's like, well, if I keep bothering Mom with my nose, maybe she'll get up and do something about it. She's so funny because if she can't get you to do it one way, then she'll go start licking your legs like, come on, I'm licking your legs. Come on with me.
They are so smart.
Yep. It's like, maybe this will make Mom move. Because I'm showing affection.
That's so cute.
We need to find a puppy. I guess I'm thinking I might just go ahead and contact the breeder and see what she is on dog litters.
Oh.
I've been postponing it because I couldn't decide whether I wanted to overlook her current issue, which is not her fault, and just go ahead and buy another dog from her.
Oh.
There are sanctions on Russia, and the sanctions run on all kinds of things, including selling dogs. She can sell the dogs, but if anyone wants to register them in Europe, ain't happening because of sanctions.
Huh.
I don't care that, you know, she registered Nora, and I didn't realize it, but apparently I was supposed to sign paperwork and have all of it transferred over to me. You know, have my name on her pedigree. But I didn't know I was supposed to do that. And I'm not breeding her, so because I had her spayed 2 years after I got her.
Yeah, that's what we did. Ours kind of required it. She wouldn't let you breed it. We weren't gonna anyway, but.
Well, the rule here in Greenland is you cannot have a intact female. It's
Really?
funny they have the rule, but there's still mutts running around town from breeding.
Yeah, they didn't read the rule.
No, someone thought they were above the rules.
Yeah.
And it annoys me because, you know, now our male dogs, we don't have to have them neutered. But if the dog is out breeding other dogs, then they will enforce that.
Mhm.
But my dog never runs loose, so he doesn't even try to leave the yard.
Well, that's good.
Well, he has never been one of those male dogs that runs down the road every time a female's in use. But I've never had a male dog do that either, because they've always been around with, they've always had a pack.
Yeah.
You know, the pack usually was one male, one female. So that desire to run off and leave the girlfriend behind hasn't happened.
Yeah, I've only had female dogs and we've always had them spayed, so.
I don't think I'm going to convince my husband to let me get another girl. He's going to want another male.
Yeah.
Because we're going to lose the male dog that we're going to get the puppy to, that sounds so mean. Replace him with a puppy. But she can't be without a friend.
Mm-hmm. No.
She's totally attached to him.
Yeah.
See, even with half square triangle paper, I want to show you guys something. And this probably has something to do with my sewing, but I want you to check this out. It might just be how I got this turned or something. You can see there's a little bit. Let me see. I don't know if you can see this or not. See the little office here? Not here. Wait. Right here.
Mm-hmm.
When you try to put these two together, they're not lining up. So sometimes when that happens, when you end up opening the seam, then it's like it corrects it. So I don't know. So even these can have little things wrong with them.
Yeah.
It could have been how I cut it. It could have been how I pressed it. It could have been how I sewed it. So even these are not without errors.
We always think if we do everything right, it's going to come out right. And it doesn't. It doesn't
No,
always come out right. And there's no reason. You can have 30 of them that you've done right and 31 is wrong.
I think it's because we as human beings are fallible.
Yep.
And it's just not possible to make anything perfect. And I really don't think we should strive for that to begin with.
I look at some people's work, and it's just so beautiful and so perfect, and there's not a point out of place. And then when you look up really close, you see, well, there's a couple that aren't exactly right, but you don't notice that.
And if we spent all our time looking for flaws, what's the fun in that?
Yeah, no kidding.
Around two. Okay, let me see here. Y'all can see these, right? Here's one set. And then here's another set.
Nice.
And then this will be the other set that came from the triangle paper.
Pretty.
Yeah, it should be interesting color. I wouldn't have picked these colors, and I think I chose this one because it was the simplest of all of her book. Because have you seen what else is in her book?
I haven't seen her book.
Well, let me show you some of the pictures so you guys can see what kind of blocks are in that book. And hopefully I won't accidentally show something I'm not supposed to show. So the book is called Qaqortoq by Adita Sitar. And I'm pretty sure you can still find this book even at Qaqortoq.
What's the name of it again?
Qaqortoq by Adita Sitar.
Qaqortoq, yeah, you said that, yeah.
Yeah, by Adita Sitar of Laundry Basket Quilts. There's 25 lovely pillows for your home sweet home. Okay,
She has such beautiful projects. Oh yeah, that's really pretty.
Mm-hmm. In case you didn't know, I'm getting tired.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you.
Oh, it goes through the steps on how to do the pillow part. Um, there's the butterfly.
Oh, nice.
This one's called the chevron pillow. Well, how to show you this one without showing everything.
Well, that's nice.
The next one's called the dot dot pillow.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
I think that looks like reverse. That might be reverse applique, maybe.
It looks kind of that way.
Yeah. And I like doing reverse applique. I just don't know how to do the kind on top of the fabric. Okay, there's this one.
Oh, yeah. Pretty.
That one was called the flower garden pillow. And this one's called Heart's Content pillow.
Oh, pretty. Those got to be pretty small hearts there.
Let me see here what this says, what size. The whole block is an 18 and a half by 18 and a half unfinished.
So they are small.
There's 1¼ inches in between each heart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5.
Wow. So what are they? Three, less than 3 inches, huh?
They have to be. It doesn't exactly say. Which I'm not sure why it doesn't say that. It should say, I would think.
Yeah, you need to know that.
It says use the applique method, blah, blah, blah. The hearts are 1.5. Oh, okay. So you're sewing them on top of the fabric.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, instead of like blocks. Okay, this one's called Into the Blue pillow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I like that look.
Yeah, they're like a block inside of another block, kind of.
Yeah.
Then you've seen the picture of this one.
That one's really cool.
Just the maize pillow or maize, whichever you want to call it. Then there is the kaleidoscope block.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, me too. That might be fun to learn how to do. Then there is the standard patriotic thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Lone Star pillow.
Ooh, that's teeny tiny also.
Yep. They're using strip sets though to make it. See?
Oh, sure. Well, that makes it easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next one is called Lovebird's Pillow.
Oh, that's pretty too.
Next one's called Lucky Charm Pillow. Robin says I need to get some vitamin C.
Yeah.
Next one, which we kind of, well, this is different though, looks like. This one's called the Mother's Day pillow.
Oh, that's pretty. I like that.
I do too. Oh, here's a big picture of it.
Oh, that's really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then this one's called the New Lights pillow.
Mm-hmm. More modern look to it. That's nice.
Yep. This one's called One Step at a Time pillow.
Oh, yeah, like a brick.
Yep, like a little brick walkway.
Uh-huh.
This one's called Plus One pillow.
Oh, that's cute.
Mm-hmm. This one's called Prism Glass pillow.
Oh, that's pretty too. Mm-hmm. There's all sorts of options.
So it's a lot. It's more of the same thing, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's even one for Ho Ho Ho, the Christmas one.
Oh,
But yeah, this book has lots of great patterns in it.
yeah, she's a very talented quilter.
Yep. One of these days, I'm gonna buy one of her fat quarter bundles.
I didn't know she had fat quarter bundles. Huh.
She does. Well, she sells all kinds of things, but
Yeah,
I just haven't seen. She had a fat quarter bundle. I don't know. A couple months ago, I saw that. I thought, I might like that one.
Hmm.
It's just I haven't stepped over the tracks to try testing her out. So what is so everybody's sewing right now and not talking, or did everybody leave?
I'm here. I'm
The chat
cutting.
is quiet. No one's saying anything. Let me see. What
We get intent on cutting.
can I get y'all to answer a question to? Thank you, Robin. Yep, y'all like that. Hit that like button, please. That will help the channel out, as you know. Does any of you have questions you would like to ask Mary? Sorry, I knew I was going to start coughing soon. I've been taking cough medicine I brought home with me from the US just to keep me from stirring up my asthma.
Oh.
Lori says she's making homemade pizza.
Ooh. Yeah, it's dinner time here. We're ready to eat.
What are you having for dinner?
I don't know yet. Haven't thought that far ahead. Probably go somewhere. We'll probably go somewhere.
All right, let's see what we got to do next. All right, now we have all those blocks pressed. So now the next thing I've got to do is just draw a diagonal line on the wrong side of fabric G squares. Okay, must be this roast color. All right. So we're drawing a line, two sets of lines. Okay. Get my friction pen out. Which one will work? I have discovered that if you don't use your friction pens, they die.
They do.
Yep. I don't use them often enough, so they quit working. girlfriend, go to sleep. All right. So basically what I'm going to do is draw lines, you guys, on the back of this fabric G. No, Nora. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. This is the part. I think drawing lines are boring. What? Did you swallow a hairball?
It sounds like my cat.
What was that? You know, every now and then she gets in this little, she has like this episode where it sounds like she's choking half to death.
Yeah.
And I know it's something to do with her esophagus or something, but I don't understand what causes the initial episode.
Yeah, our dog will do, she kind of like snorts sort of, and she, you know.
Then she goes into this fit, yeah.
Yeah,
and then
she
after she's had the fit, she walks around shaking her ears for a couple of hours.
Yep, ours does the same thing. The vet said it was nothing. She said you can rub them right there on their throat, but I don't ever find that to be helpful.
Yeah, it doesn't help. The only thing I find that does seem to help is he's standing there petting them while it's going on.
Yeah, or I'll say, shake it off, shake it off, and she shakes, you know.
Yep. So even in a pedigree dog, Dachshund, they do this, and my mixed breed Dachshund did it. So I always wonder what the cause was.
Yeah, ours is a Cavalier, King Charles, and they, you know, she's a Spaniel, they do it too. So.
It sounds like they're about to die.
Well, in ours, they said, you know, because she has a short nose, but a Dachshund doesn't. So that
she doesn't.
That's not it.
She's got a long nose, so I don't know why she does it.
Yeah.
But it's something to do with her throat. I know that much about it. I know it's you know, like if I have her on a leash and she pulls on the collar too much, she'll cause an episode. So for the most part, I keep a harness on her, but every now and then I'll slip up and put a collar on because I misplaced the harness, and then she'll go and pull on the collar and start something.
Yeah, we had to take the collar off of ours and just use a harness because she hurt her neck. There was some big dogs walking by, and she got scared when they barked at her, and she pulled back and actually got an injury, a neck injury. It was terrible. And
wow.
Yeah, we were really worried about her, but it took several months before she was better. But now we just use a harness. We don't use the collar because they said it could happen again now that it's kind of weak.
It probably could. All right, so we're drawing diagonal lines through fabric G, and then we're putting right side spacing layer of fabric G with a fabric E, which is the red rose, this one. Nora, what are you doing? Nora! She disappeared into the kitchen.
She's busy.
She's like, let me see what I can get into. How many of these are we supposed to do? Shh. The right side spacing. Oh, it says make 4. No, I'm not going to, Missy. You're going to have to be patient. It says make 4 red. It says make 4 root red rose half square. But when you look at the picture, it looks like they've made 2 and cut it in half to make 4. Sometimes directions are confusing.
Yeah, yeah. You can't read their minds.
Well, okay, let me see here. Lori says, my hubby is so happy I am making this. I bet I could ask for a new sewing machine, laugh out loud. Hey, maybe you should. That's cute. Robin says, I'm tired. I did my laundry, 130 hexagons, fed dogs, all laundry put away. Sounds like a productive day, Lori. She's attacking her ball.
Oh.
And it must be caught on the chair because you can't get it loose. What are you doing? Where's your ball? Oh, I see it now. Go get it. There you go. It's like it was stuck under mommy's chair. We're about to hit that 2-hour mark. We're getting close to that 2-hour mark.
Yep.
Did you want to stay or do you want to go at the 2-hour mark?
I'm probably ready to go just because I'm at a stopping point here. I can't do any more.
Okay.
Until I cut more stuff, but
Okay.
I did get some great work done.
Yep. I'm going to have to take medicine, I think. Okay, so I've sewn 2 already.
Oh, there you go.
So they said to do 2 of those. And then it wants you to make 2 more sets of them, looks like. A different color though. So what I'm going to do is just leave these intact for right now. And we're going to get out F. Wait a minute. Just this color. So we're going to have to draw lines on the back of these too. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm drawing more lines. Got them done. Now we'll put the two indigos on here.
I just love this fabric I got. It's Halloween.
Oh, cute.
But it doesn't have to be. It does have ghosts and things on it, but it's got all kinds of fun cobwebs and stars and things. It's really cute. Just gotta make something out of it.
You know what you're gonna make out of it?
Yeah, that's what I'm working on. It's a layer cake, and I'm gonna cut them back to 9.5 inches, and then it's got some sashing and cornerstones and applique then on top, some pumpkin applique. Just in the beginning stages. I've got a long way to go, but it's coming together. Got all my pieces cut, and that's important, and I got my strips sewn, and that's important too. But I've got to cut the next bunch.
Yeah. Hi, Joyty. Okay, got those two done. Now it says to make. See with this one. Okay. And then I think that's where we're going to stop. How you doing, Joy? Haven't seen you in a while. Okay, one more side to go. Okay, now we have those done. So this is where I'm going to come to a stopping point. Do you have anything you want to show them?
Yeah, I didn't really do much. I just have all my little pieces cut and ready to go.
Okay.
I can show you I used my pressing technique and you can see the center that is just like perfect, which I really love.
Yep, it looks great.
There we go. Yeah, so anyway, it works. And then I did it on this too, so you can see that it's nice and flat. Then I'll be able to nest those seams once I trim this up. Anyway, yeah, that's where I am. And then I used this fancy little block lock strip set ruler. It worked really well. I was able to lay it on top of the fabric and line up that center seam, and it worked like a charm. I'm sad that I haven't used it before this because I know I've had it longer than I can remember. So as is true with many of my rulers, I buy them when I see them demonstrated, then I always forget about them. So this is a good one. I'll use it again.
Oh, well, I'll have to look up that ruler. That's the first time I've seen that ruler.
Well, yeah, I've not seen, I looked up the video on it before I started just to make sure I knew how to use it. And she explained how you can use it for all sorts of things. And, you know, the little divot on there lines up with all your seams so you can't move it, which makes it really handy when you're trying to cut these little tiny pieces. But they're already sewn in strips. I just had to cut them.
Joy, I'm doing okay. I'm still sick, but I'm okay. So
I hope you feel better.
Yeah, let's hope so. I can tell you that I don't like having a sore throat at all. It's annoying me.
Yeah, no. Now, you know the trick about putting a cough drop in your cheek right there and leaving it there.
We don't have cough drops here.
Oh, yeah, that works really well because it just hangs around there. You can even, you know, it just keeps, you don't suck it all down in a little.
I've been taking more, it's the same as Tylenol, but we call it paracetamol here. And I normally take some every day anyway, but yesterday it was like every 4 hours more paracetamol because I just couldn't deal with the sore throat pain. And I could feel, it felt like I felt like I had swallowed a ball of my own hair.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you ever experienced that, but it's the most disorienting thing to experience. And you know, and I think it's because, you know, I constantly have sinus trouble, and which, you know, one triggers one thing and one triggers the other.
Oh yeah. Once one thing happens, everything goes bad.
And I've been waiting for 2 years to see an ears, nose, and throat doctor because I want them to get to the bottom of why my sinuses are where they are, because they're inflamed and they never stop being inflamed.
Jeez. Well,
hi, Ted, you're about to lose us. You're gonna have to watch the replay because we're about to stop. So, do you want to say anything before I shut this down?
Well, I thank you. I'll look forward to talking to you on Friday. And anyway, it's been a great time. I appreciate you including me. This has been fun. It's not often that I can just sit and work on something, you know. I think we all need.
I appreciate you coming.
Yeah, it's been great. Really enjoyed it. Love your channel.
More sewing together. Thank you so much for coming. All right, everyone. Thank you for coming to the live tonight. Thank you for supporting the channel. Make sure you live, laugh, love, and dream, but make sure you're creating something too. So see you on the next live. Bye.
Bye-bye.